Leopold. Mr. Leopold.
Thank you, Chair. You know, today's staff report refers to Moran Way and Palisades Avenue as a block that's in transition. And the question to me is, what are we transitioning to? Over the last decade, a considerable amount of time has been spent looking and talking about Pleasure Point and Moran Lake. There have been numerous community meetings, several public hearings, and action by this board. And what we heard consistently is a community effort to maintain the uniqueness and natural flavor of the area. Some might say that we can't consider the unanimous adoption of the Pleasure Point Plan or the Moran Lake Park Plan, but we cannot disregard the countless conversations and testimony that we've heard about the neighborhood in this very room. I am disappointed with our planning department for moving this project forward in spite of the conflicts with neighborhood compatibility and environmental concerns. I appealed this proposed project because neighbors and other residents in Pleasure Point were concerned about the direction our staff was recommending. I agreed and thought that this proposed project required a higher level of review given its impact. Early on, this proposed project was granted a riparian exemption, which allowed a significantly larger footprint for this structure. As outlined in letters in our packets today, we have reason to seriously question this exemption and the resulting lack of notification to the community and the California Coastal Commission. This proposed house maxes out the site and will create the largest home on the block. In spite of all the work that the planning department and our board have done, the staff chose to look north to compare this house with two of the least compatible houses in the area. Some have said that these comparable houses are what led neighbors to plead for design standards in the neighborhood. Had they looked south or east, they would have seen more compatible homes that are either one-story or mask the mass and height appreciably better than this design does. How big is this proposed house when comparing it to the homes that we usually look for neighborhood compatibility? This proposed house is over 3,000 square feet. It is bigger than any of the 24 homes that we compare when we do neighborhood compatibility. In fact, 62% of the houses in the neighborhood are less than half the size of this proposed house. 81% of the homes in the neighborhood are 1,800 square feet or less. So that makes this proposed home is nearly 1,500 square feet larger than the average house, or nearly 1,700 square feet larger than the median house size. Lastly, there's the visual impact that this proposed home would have. We have some simulations that are, at best, generous to what the front of the house will look like. It is massive and provides little or no articulation to the street, which is a key feature of the community. From the rear, we have more photos from the Moran Lake parking lot. It attempts to diminish the visual impact of this proposed house. But those of us who live here don't just use the parking lot to go to the beach. We walk around the lake, we enjoy the monarch habitat, and we visit friends on 30th Avenue. This proposed home will be imposing from the lakeside and will look like 3 stories to nearly everyone who recreates in Moran Lake. We will be investing a tremendous amount of money in the coming months to refurbish Moran Lake. We are doing this for the public to enjoy and not to be overwhelmed by large structures. I do not take this appeal lightly. I understand the concerns about the process, its effect on the owners, but I also understand that this appeal is part of the process. Because of the way this proposed home was handled, we have broken the compact with the community and its relationship with the county. This is not just a bunch of disgruntled neighbors. I join with them, the Sierra Club, and the California Coastal Commission in expressing concerns about the compatibility of this proposed home at this site. We all hope that our board chooses to ensure that when we have a neighborhood that is considered, quote, in transition, unquote, we choose a path that considers the wishes of the neighborhood and not fundamentally change the scale and feel of a unique neighborhood. We hope that the board joins us in asking the planning department to work with the owners to create a home that is more compatible with this neighborhood. And I'll have more comments after the presentation.
Thank you.